Hello everybody, it's Damikity Gaming. Today, I have my parents here, and I wanted them to listen to those vocals in Big Shot that nobody knows what he says. Basically, I don't think you guys have any idea what I'm talking about either. You guys are both still sending messages, I assume. Helpful, yes.
Keeping up with the,
make sure that,
the weather,
yeah,
okay?
make sure that the weather's good. I know. But I did want to tell you a couple things, so as soon as you're ready, I will pause the video, but as soon as you're ready, I did want to explain what I wanted to do. Okay, so we're back up. So I wanted to have you guys as more of an attention, both of you guys, Dad, Mom, both of you two's attentions before, like, I started anything, so that's why I waited. Okay, so there's this very specific song in Deltarune Chapter 2. It's called Big Shot. It plays for... Deltarune Chapter 2 takes place inside of a computer, basically. Your character, the main characters basically venture inside of a computer and meet a bunch of characters that are somewhat related to the last chapter, which was like a board game type setup. Anyways, basically, there's this very specific character with this very intricate backstory that nobody really knows much about. But, like, there's a whole bunch that's hinted at and nothing that's ever really said. Mostly because the character just speaks in very, like, spam-related spam-related speak, because very, to put it very bluntly, this character that this theme plays for is quite literally a piece of spam mail. Because they're inside a computer, so this character is spam. It's spam mail. Spamton, G. Spamton. #1 rated salesman. But yeah, the character speaks in, like, very cryptic type where you have to kind of decide what you think it's saying. And in the theme, the secret boss theme, I'm not going to explain everything. Basically, they have their main theme, but then they also have this other theme which takes a whole bunch of different specific things to get to. Basically triggering them as a secret boss and having a secret theme play for them as a secret boss fight in the game. During this theme in Big Shot, that's the theme's name, there's some very clouded words that are hidden in the background of the song. And basically, there's a whole bunch of different interpretations on what they're saying. But here's the thing. All of those people that had their interpretations on what the Big Shot lyrics say, they're biased because of the theories they believe in, of this, of that. But you two, because you haven't played Deltarune and know nothing about it, you don't have any bias because you don't have any theories to believe in and no characters to really go off of. You don't know anything but what you're hearing. And that's what I thought would really prove to me what these vocals are saying. If I could get somebody to react to them and tell me what they think that they hear without them knowing any theories, without them knowing anything about the characters, I thought maybe that would be a really good way to get an unbiased opinion of what these vocals are. Now I'm going to play it for you, and I just want you to step it here, and I want you to tell me what you think you hear. Now remember, it could be anything. Try not to limit yourself to something that's very simple, because anything that you hear could have relevance to the plot that you might not know about. So what you think you hear could be anything at all. So try not to limit yourself to just, like, the basic lyrics of a song. It could be anything. This is probably a very important piece of lore, knowing Toby Fox. So let's see what you guys hear. Okay. I have my volume turned all the way up, and let's play it.
It was all the way in the background?
Yes. You know what? I could probably, if I pause the video again, I could probably pull up a very good YouTube video where they very where they isolated those vocals really thickly. Just let me pause the video one more time and see if maybe. But let's do it one more time. Let's do it one more. Let's do it one more round before I go to the video where it isolates the vocals.
Couldn't make out anything.
What did you hear, Mom? Because you were closer to the computer.
Well, before there's 3 syllables. What the something. Before that, there's a whisper that goes, so crazy, so crazy.
You hear so crazy.
I hear that before those 3 syllables come in. There's a whisper before something. What the? What the? What the? It's not a curse word. It's like,
no, it's
what's the sense? What the, I mean, I don't know what it is. I'd have to hear it.
Okay, let me do like the Big Shot. Let me look up Big Shot.
What's the point? What's the,
What's the ooh!
What's the point?
You hear you heard something like what's the point?
It's not a curse word. It's something like somebody's asking a question.
You heard what's the point?
I heard something close to that.
You heard something close. So Taurus heard something close to what's the point, which if you play Deltarune actually kind of makes sense. But let me play this one more time with the sound.
All the way on the other side of the...
Yeah, let me play this again with the sound and see if maybe I can raise this up a little.
Just listen.
Something like
could you raise your voice?
I hear something like the fall, something of the fall.
So you hear the fall, you hear what's the point?
Yeah, but it could say what's the force.
What's the
I heard something
now,
like what's the force?
What's the force?
What's the fourth?
What's the fourth? That's interesting.
Force. There's something in there, something. But
okay,
before that comes on, you can hear there's this whisper through the whole thing.
That's what I want you to hear. That's the part of the song
that... It sounds like parcel tongue.
It sounds like parcel tongue. Let me pause this. I want to put on and see if I can get an isolated lyrics. Okay, we're back on. I have just gotten some brand new footage, and by brand new footage, I mean I have somebody who isolated them. Now this, again, what you're about to see on screen, by the way, credit to, let's see who they are, Intro C, for making this isolated thing. But what you're about to hear, what you're about to see on screen, whoever's watching, is what they think it says. But again, I'm not going to show that to you guys, because that might make you biased. So, here's the best attempt, or one of the best attempts at somebody isolating the Big Shot lyrics. Just a minute. There you go.
Something's coming.
I knew that there's some whispering in there before.
Something's coming. Yes, you hear something's coming, Dad.
Yeah, something's
And then there's
coming.
a female.
There's a female?
At the very end. Something's coming.
I think that's just pitch tone, but...
I don't know. I thought there was a female.
You thought there was a female voice in there. That wouldn't make
last second.
That wouldn't make sense unless it's something in the next chapter, but I think it's a pitch. I think it's just him getting pitched. But what did you hear, Dad? Sugar, whatever you want to be called. I don't care. What did you hear?
It's up to you. Well, what did I just say? That's what
You said you heard something's coming.
Yeah, something's coming. It sounds like... What? Play it again.
Okay.
Yeah.
female at the end there.
Yes!
Something across the street.
Yes, something is across the street.
Yeah.
Something like there's a barn or something that's across
This is
the
a
street.
barn.
Yeah, that's what
I
I
don't
heard
know,
too.
it's
That's
just crazy
a bar.
how much that they're putting in there.
A
It's
bar
so
across the street.
subliminal.
Hell
It's not.
yeah, it
It's
is.
not right.
No.
actually.
What they're trying to do is hiding the lore of this character very deep in the song. They're trying to do this because this character does. They hide the backstory so much that this is pretty much all we have to go off the backstory, and we have no idea what it says. I
Say
may.
it's a backstory, but they're really putting all this stuff in you guys' head. That's what I think. It's interesting though.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, they do it
They-
in commercials.
It
and
is a
stuff,
lore.
Too.
It is.
I
I think it is a lore thing. Because Kobe Fox's stuff has very deep lore for each character, so I think this is a lore thing. It's just very isolated. Remember, this is a piece of spam mail. Do you want to know what people think it says? Do you want to know the biased opinion of what people think it says, and then an explanation as to why people think that it says that they say that, or do you want to listen to it again and form another opinion? Okay, isolated lyrics going again. Oh, there's more.
Across the streets, turning
I think
white.
it's nothing. I think it's nothing. Across the bar. Something
Across
about
you keep hearing, you both
Yeah,
hear
something.
across.
Yes.
Where do you hear across? I want to know.
Right there, across the
Street. It leads you to the barn. It leads you to.
It leads you
It
to.
leads you to the something
that could be
across
it.
the street.
It leads you to.
Thing.
It leads you to.
To
That's
the-
interesting.
The bar, the barn, the store. I don't know what it is.
Nothing about that makes sense, but it leads you to might do something with the lore. Okay, do you want to know what I think it says? And yes, I do have a biased opinion, but with my intricate lore knowledge of the character, here's what it says to me. Think he's coming for me, hands on the top, pull the strings and make them ring until your heart can't keep breaking up. Think he's coming for me, hands on the top, strings and make them ring and tell me what you're really selling.
Whoa.
So, that's my interpretation. Think it's... Yes, and most other people would follow something as if, think it's coming for me, answer the phone.
Yes, I heard the phone in there.
You heard
like
phone.
Pink Floyd does that phone.
Pink Floyd does that phone, yes.
Also, Don Henley. does
Thinking
it
comes for me, answer the phone.
With the cheap laundry or something like that.
Yeah, dirty
Dirty laundry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And Pink Floyd do the.
Things come for me, answer the
Also,
phone.
That phone call. That phone thing was taken from a British TV show, right?
Oh, really?
Isn't it?
You
Called,
think? The phone?
What was it called?
So the phone clip is actually taken from a British TV show, you think?
Yeah, it was a store, a little store that it was a little comedy skit where people would buy some stuff at the store. There was a gay guy and everything in it. It was funny.
So there was a
I liked their
comedy
humor.
British show
I liked it, yeah.
with a ringing phone that you think that comes from. So yes, think it's coming for me, answer the phone. And then another interpretation says, think it's coming for me, answer the phone, can't wait till you're all alone, and I will make sense of all of this in a moment. Pull the strings and make them ring, I'll tell you how much it's ringing. Think it's coming for me, answer the phone, can't wait till you're all alone, pull the strings in, tell me what you're really selling. Now,
That was all you? That's what you came up with?
well, that's another person's interpretation, but I think it's something very similar. Let's listen to it with the biased opinion now.
Whoa, I heard heard something different that time.
What did you hear?
I heard. I can't repeat it.
You heard a total. Okay,
Oh.
you heard something. Well,
Yeah, I heard. Yeah.
okay, let's go through my version. What I think might. Okay, do you remember Gaster? Do you remember how I told you about Gaster, Mom? Gaster from Undertale. You thought he was Sans.
Okay.
The guy that was really mysterious in Undertale that you only get like something very, very brief knowledge about him, and his lore is so totally misunderstood and nobody really knows what it means. And does this remind you of anyone already? Because it's a very similar backstory as to what we have of the spam character in Deltarune.
Really?
Basically, we know nothing except a very few couple of snippets. But Gaster is what people say to be coming for this spam character, as Gaster has like a corruption type of power or something like that. I don't know. Things come from me. Answer the phone. Spamton, being a spam mail character, he just has a phone. He's a deal maker. He just does deals, over the phone. So answer the phone's a pretty simple thing. So coming for him as Gaster, answer the phone is pretty simple. Can't wait till you're all alone. Can't wait till you're all alone refers, I believe, to the fact that you are controlling a character in this. When you control it's not just as simple as you are a character in this world. It's you, the player, are controlling a character in this world. You have probably been put in total control over a character in this world. You're not just the character or the main character. You control the main character through your computer. And well, your alarm went off. But yes, it's theorized that when this main character goes off screen, or we, as our viewpoint through the game, goes off of that main character, then that main character is free from our control. Therefore, he's all alone. They're all alone. That's why this spam character is theorized to say, can't wait till you're all alone, so, they're free and not being, and not being controlled. Pull the strings and make them ring is just another thing. I think about deal. It's actually said during the big shot fight with the secret boss character. One of the flavor texts in battle is pulls the strings and makes them ring. I believe it's referring to freedom. So that's one part of it. I'll tell you how much it's ringing. I'm not sure how much. I believe that's just referring to the phone again. And then I believe it goes again, and then tell me what you're really selling. I believe it's theorized to be Spamton talking to Gaster, who's promising him freedom, but it's not really freedom, because Gaster really just corrupts people. So he's lying that he's going to sell Spamton freedom, and then so Spamton, tell me what you're really selling. So that's what people think it says, and that's a big, elaborate thing. But that's interesting. You heard the part where it says, till your heart can't keep breaking up. Because I had a theory that it said, till your heart can't keep breaking up. And that makes sense as well, because in Undertale and Deltarune, the death animation for, your character is your soul, the heart thing that you control, just breaking. It breaks. So, till your heart can't keep breaking up is a very simple, pretty simple thing. But yeah, I had that theory. A lot of other people did as well, but that was what I thought it said.
Wow.
But it was interesting. Till your heart kicking breaking up, you guys heard it leads you to the, and then something you couldn't make out, which is really interesting. It leads you to the instead of until your heart can't.
Very interesting.
It's a very interesting piece, and it's
super fast. And
it's definitely in the lore.
Blurry.
It's definitely some part of the lore, and it would make sense if you played Deltarune, but I wanted an unbiased opinion, because if you did play Deltarune, you'd have an opinion.
Right, I get it.
So, yeah. But that's part of the lore, and it's interesting. It leads you to the. Maybe that will come true. Maybe it will be it leads you to the, because I have nowhere where something would lead you to something, but that seems like it would fit into Deltarune somehow. So we'll see, I guess, in the future, because chapters 3, 4, and 5 are releasing, I believe, either sometime this year or next year. So we'll see. Thank you both for being in the video. Thank you both for trying to help me do that. And I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.